Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Fat Girl Life. Now, you all know my focus here is knowing your worth, loving yourself in the body that you are in. One of the things that comes up against us as in society as a whole, and we are judged by it, is BMI or body mass index. Tonight, I am joined by Melissa MacDonald, affectionately known as Dr. Mac, and we're going to discuss what BMI actually is and why it is bullshit. Dr. Mac, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Oh, Kimberly, thank you for having me. I am incredibly excited to be here because this is a topic that makes my blood boil.
Well, before we get into it, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I am a sports chiropractor located in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. And I predominantly work with high performance female athletes and women's athletes and non-binary athletes and anywhere in between. The teams that I work with are Minnesota Roller Derby, a Drum Corps International Band, and a professional women's football team, the Minnesota Vixen. So that is where I spend my time working with those athletes and working with every shape of body that needs to be on the field to perform a task safely and effectively.
Nice. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. We know BMI stands for body mass index, but what is it really?
Well, it's kind of exactly that. It is your height and weight put into a math problem that spews out a number that is supposed to indicate your health. Now, there are some issues with this because it doesn't account for with your weight. Is that fat? Is that muscle? Is that water dehydration? What is actually going on? It is just a raw number calculated that I'm going to tell you a little secret was never intended to be used on an individual person. It was only supposed to be used on populations.
And this is where we get into BMI is bullshit. Let me say this louder for everybody in the back. BMI is bullshit. Do not let your BMI define you. Dr. Mack, why don't you explain to us how BMI came to be and why we call bullshit on it?
Oh, so a mathematician back in the 1700s was trying to come up with a number to do population studies to figure out the potential health of a population. And they recognized that, yes, when you are having more weight on your body, you can have some associated health conditions. And they were going to use this number to do population studies. Insurance companies decided, oh, this is a great way to get an estimation on a person to determine whether we're going to charge them more and are we going to cover them, because insurance companies don't want to pay money. Here's the things. I, by BMI, am morbidly obese. I'm a power lifter though, so I can deadlift my body weight, which is heavy because I like to be dense and I am a sturdy gal. But I don't find myself to be morbidly obese. But every time I go to the doctor, on my home sheet that I get, my report of findings or your visit summary, it says, please consider exercising more, eating less, and losing, what do I have to get down to? 75 pounds to get to a normal BMI.
Oh my God.
Oh, is that so?
Okay. So I'm going to have you tell just one more little factoid that you told me. Who created? I mean, what gender and population created
Um,
BMI.
yeah, well, this came out of the 17 and 1800s. The only gender that mattered. Cis het white men made this. It was designed to do population studies on white, specifically white men, because female health, who cares? They don't matter. Anything that's going on with a male body can be applied
I
to.
I love the comments that just came in before you said it.
Let's guess a man.
A man is the one that made the comment too.
Thank you, John. You are not wrong. No, it's one of those things that it was designed, again, by a mathematician to be used to do population studies. It was never, ever, ever supposed to be applied to a single person because the individual who created it had no medical background. And he knew that it didn't take in the nuances that make up each person. There is no way that it can account for the fact that when you have 5 pounds of fat to 5 pounds of muscle, it doesn't add up. It does not equate. So then you have people that have massive BMIs that are unhealthy for a different reason because they've shredded themselves down to the point that they have no fat content. And now they're on the opposite end. There is a balance that has to be had, which means we need to look at other markers of health to figure out whether your BMI actually makes you unhealthy, such as what's your blood pressure. If you have a normal blood pressure, if you have normal blood sugar levels, if you have normal cholesterol and normal triglycerides, and that's a whole nother conversation about what that normal should be. Don't get me started. But if those are all in check and you have a high BMI, politely middle finger those people because you're healthy. There are so many unhealthy, skinny people. So I'm 235 pounds. I'll put that out there. I'm 5'8", 235 pounds. I'm a sturdy bitch. Okay. That's where I live. I'm happy. When I weighed 155 pounds, which is my normal BMI, I was anorexic. I was in a reduced energy deficiency state where I was getting stress fractures. I was extremely fatigued. I was depressed and I hated my body, but I was healthy.
Yeah.
Rage.
So, what are some other things that people, I know you mentioned, the blood pressure, the A1C, the triglycerides. What are some other things that people could be looking at within themselves to determine overall health?
So a big piece are is can you do what you want your body to do? Which means, do you want to go and hike Kilimanjaro? Do you want to go to the gym and crush out some weights? Do you want to go for a run? Sorry. It's just my visceral reaction to people wanting to do that. Like, oh.
I had the reaction when you said Kilimanjaro. I'm sitting here thinking,
but it's one of those things. Can you do what you want to do? Can you do what you love? I work with a professional women's football team. I'm sorry. My line has to be full of strong, heavy, sturdy people that are going to protect the quarterback or kill the other team's quarterback, one of the two. But I mean, my defensive tackle benches 250 pounds. Like, it takes 2 other women to stop her from crushing their team. Am I going to tell her that, hey, your BMI is like, I'm going to make up a number because I don't actually know right now. Because I don't track it. Like, your BMI is a 42. We need to cut some weight. Hell no. You have to have that weight. And it's such a struggle for women and body image when it comes to what's an acceptable weight. And that is societally based. It is completely societal pressures that say you have to be this dress size, your waist has to be this, your hips have to be this. And it's completely crap. But then we get into the point of body positivity and trying to accept all body shapes. And I hate that movement too, because it almost becomes toxically positive. Because we can't always love every aspect of our body.
No.
We can't. So I prefer body neutrality. I am neutral to what my body looks like. But you know what? I know for a fact that if there's a 275-pound barbell on the ground and I need to pick that fucker up, it's in the air because I can do that because my body has that power. I am neutral to how my body looks, but I love the fact that my body is as powerful as it is doing the tasks I need it to accomplish. So I can go to the gym, crush out weights, and then I can hop in a racquetball court and beat the poop out of my husband, and I've had a good day.
And see, I am a full believer in loving yourself in the body that you are in. That does not mean you love every aspect of your body. It means you love the person inside the body. Because if you cannot love yourself at 500 pounds, you are not going to love yourself at 102 pounds. It's
Nope.
not going to happen. And I actually did another podcast this morning for Big Beautiful Badasses. And we were discussing this exact topic of loving yourself. And I kind of threw out a joke that it's become a joke, honestly, because when I was in rehab, we had to write love letters to ourselves. And that is hard because you don't always love yourself. When you first talk about loving yourself, you're talking about loving the whole package. And that's not realistic because we are always going to have something we don't like. And my prime example, and this is what's become the running joke, is my chin. Honestly, I hate my chin. I hate how it looks. I hate the double chin thing. But, and here's the but, it serves a purpose, and I have learned to appreciate it. Because if I am in my armchair and I am watching a movie with my husband and I doze off, I have this beautiful little pillow. It
Yes.
serves a purpose. I don't like my scars. I have scars on my arms because I used to self harm. I look at those scars now, though, and I see what I overcame. That's what we need to be doing. It's not about loving every part of yourself because that's just not realistic.
No, it's
Just
about
like,
accepting who you are, which is why I prefer the term body neutrality because I feel like it's more approachable versus the body positivity movement almost for me, and this is a me thing, feels almost toxically positive where I have to express love of everything. And I'm like, I don't like my cankles. I'm not feeling the cankles. But then I go, but they support me in everything I do lifting. They allowed me yesterday to go to the gym for an hour and a half and then go work a 4-hour football game and cover and provide sideline coverage and run up and down the field and make sure everybody was safe. So, although I don't like the way they look, they did a damn good job yesterday.
okay, so Alana is on right now, and she just commented how much she loves the lives because she's overweight and how much this helps her. Alana, thank you so much for that comment. I am so glad that I have been able to help you, that I am bringing on guests like Dr. Mac that are able to help you with some of these issues. And you need to know, again, that whole overweight thing does not mean you are not healthy, does not mean you are not lovable. Your body is just like clothing. It's something you wear. It is not who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the biggest and most important messages that I want to get across. Do you have anything that you want to contribute in regards to that comment?
Yeah, so I like to look at it as we are just in a mech suit, essentially. This is our mechanical body. We don't understand what makes up each individual person because if we were all identical, we'd be little robots. But we operate within this flesh suit that's been given to us. And what we do with it is what defines our lifetime. It's how we get scars, it's how we get bruises, it's how we live our life. And as long as it's doing what you need. And again, blood pressure, blood sugar, those type of things are within realm and you're managing those pieces. I don't care what the scale number says because the scale lies. The scale lies in the sense that it tries to define our self-worth. You know where our self-worth is made is here. It's inside of us. And if we force ourselves to look at the scale and go, oh God, when I go to the doctor today, they're going to say I'm overweight. Yeah, they're going to tell me every time I go in, I'm overweight. And I'm like, cool. I'm going to just flip your exam table and then we'll talk about me being overweight. I'm a very angry person in real life. It's just how I am. But I really hate because we see so many people suffering from eating disorders. We see so many people brutally torturing themselves and not living a full life because society has said that's not acceptable. Because medicine ignores problems, saying, oh, this problem will go away when you lose weight. No, the problem is not because you have additional weight on you. You have a legitimate health problem. Fire that provider, find someone else. And that is so hard because there's so much fat phobia in medicine.
Mm-hmm. And we actually just had another comment. John said, coming from a man, I agree with this because I would really have to kill myself working out in order to maintain my BMI.
Yes. Yes, you would. Because again, when I maintained my normal BMI, I was extremely unhealthy. And for those individuals that have a menstrual cycle, when you're in a reduced energy deficiency state, when you're not appropriately either feeding yourself or working out too much, it messes with your hormones and leads to long-term studies. So it used to be like, oh, you'd see all these like uber cachectic, which is just bony, skinny, unhealthy, skeletal. And they'd be like, I've run so much that I've stopped my menstrual cycle. Cool, boo boo. Do you know what that's doing to your body? It's shutting down your kidneys. It's leading to osteoporosis. I'll see you in 3 weeks when you fracture your foot because your bones no longer can support your weight. You got to listen to what your body's telling you, which if it can do what you need, your numbers are okay when it comes to, again, not the scale, the blood pressure, the blood sugar, the cholesterol, then go be who you are. In all honesty, that scale needs to be revamped as it is and just done away with. But if we were going to stick with BMI, I generally say 35 to 25 is a more normal, maintainable scale. Like that, if we're going there, and then I'm already outside of it, I'm 36. So again, it's a trash scale because you can't calculate what's going on with an individual. So just go away with the BMI. It's bullshit.
Now, I've got a quick question for you. Um, I know you've mentioned like with menstrual cycles and everything else. How does that skew with somebody who's going through menopause?
Oh,
We're gonna put my issues out there now. Menopause sucks. If you have not gone through menopause, for anybody out there, menopause sucks, and hot flashes are no joke.
menopause is one of those things that I personally have not experienced yet, but it is on the horizon most likely. And it's one of those things that, yes, once we lose that ability to use that as a tracking piece, we have to use other aspects, because reduced energy deficiency doesn't just affect individuals that menstruate, it also affects men. So we have to use other things. So when we're starting to see fatigue, so where you're trying to do activities, you can't keep up your energy, and all you want to do is sleep, you're starting to have repetitive overuse injuries. And that's where, like, you're getting shin splints, and your shin splints aren't recovering even with rest, or you're getting stress fractures. All of those are indicating your body's not supporting what you need to be doing beyond just the menstrual cycle. Those who menstruate just have the lucky golden button of, oh crap, I'm no longer regular. Boom, I know I have a problem and I need to eat food. Food is so fundamental. And the worst part is the diet industry and how it's sold you a lie to try to fix you. Because here's the thing, if the diet industry worked, it wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar industry that keeps having people relapse and switch to a new diet. If it worked, it wouldn't exist anymore. Have you ever thought about that? It's
That is
not.
such a valid point. Oh my God. I never even thought about it like that. But that is, oh my God. Yes.
Diets don't work. It's about a lifestyle shift. And your lifestyle shifts have to be around what you want to do. I want to lift stupid, heavy things, go play on the field with my athletes, providing them sideline care, and then run around my clinic like a psychopath. As long as I can do that, I don't care how much I weigh.
I just want to go to Vegas and go shop in the Venetian. That's my goal.
There you go. If you can do that, who cares? Your body is doing what you need. You are being successful. Yes, John, the diet plans are always, they have to change because people eventually fail. And this always, let's talk about calorie intake in our bodies, because a lot of plans are like, oh, you can't eat more than 2,000 calories. Again, you're in an energy deficient state. When you're in an energy deficient state, your metabolism slows. It slows so far down that then your body goes into starvation mode, where it's like, I have to store everything I'm consuming so that I make sure I'm safe, that if I no longer have food, I'm safe. So we actually have to eat to lose weight, but we have to eat intelligently, and that's whole foods. So if it won't rot, I'm disinclined to say that you should probably be eating it. Now, does that mean I eat perfectly clean? No. Did I have Ben and Jerry's this week because it was that kind of week? Oh, yes. Yes, I did. But tonight for dinner, we had some gluten-free pasta because we're trying to do some reduced gluten, not because we're celiacs, but other issues with the husband that just needs to be cleared up. And we had some shrimp and zucchini. So good. So good. And it was everything that could rot and fall apart. Tomorrow for lunch, I'll have sandwich, I'll have some fruits, I'll have some string cheese for snackies. Because I recognize, for me, with my lifting, I'm more concerned with my macros. So protein, fat, carbs, and I'm mainly only concerned with my protein because I'm too lazy to track the rest of them. Full disclosure, I'm lazy. I pick the least amount of work that gets the maximum amount of effort. I need to be eating around 135 grams of protein, which might sound like a lot, but that's my lean muscle weight. So if I'm eating that much protein, I don't have room for other things, and I have to space that out. So I have like my breakfast with my yogurt, and then I have my hard-boiled eggs for my snacky, and I have my string cheese, and then I have my sandwich, usually some more string cheese, more yogurt because protein, and then I'll have a mid-afternoon snack, and then I'll have dinner. And then I might have an after-dinner snack of like, I like to take yogurt and mix in like cocoa powder and like fruit and stuff.
Ooh.
Like, make something out of it. Or sometimes I'm like ice cream because there's protein in that. Yeah, it's milk. It's all about finding those pieces. You might be going, God, that's a lot of food. Yeah. To lift weights, it takes a lot of food. And yet, when I decide to be like, where am I at on the scale? I've lost weight since I've started eating more.
And see, we went through, like, tonight was not the healthiest of dinners, bacon cheeseburgers.
So,
But tomorrow night, we know that, okay, tonight wasn't real healthy. So how are we going to counteract that? Tomorrow night, we are doing grilled chicken out on the grill. So it's not going in butter or anything like that. We're just going to have grilled chicken, steamed veg, and just counteract the bacon and the Swiss cheese that was so yummy tonight, and the wine that I'm going to be having later.
oh, of course, the wine. So tasty. But it's one of those things. The other thing is I'd like us to stop thinking of food as punishment foods. Or like, hey, I ate this, so now I have to punish myself by eating something else. Or I have that food is off limits because it's bad. There's no bad food. Our body doesn't determine, oh, this is good or bad food. When I say whole foods versus like not eating processed foods, they can stick a lot of things in there that are addictive to us. Because again, our body treats certain chemicals as drugs. Sugar is a drug. And a lot of processed foods recognize that and put extra sugar in there because they want us to be addicted to it. So when we can cook and control those pieces of the puzzle, it gives us more control of our body. But that doesn't mean those foods need to be off limits, because if we make them off limits, eventually we're going to have a bad day, and we're going to have a day where the rest of our world crumbles. And then we're like, this train of health is off the rails and I am binging for a week.
Well, and
And
you
then
always
we've,
what you can't have. So if you are denying yourself, it's the one thing you are going to want more and more and more.
so like every night, I have an ice cream sandwich. That's my present to myself for getting through the day. Little ice cream sandwich. Yes, on bad weeks, I get Ben and Jerry's, but otherwise, I just get a little ice cream sandwich. It gives me I love my ice cream. It's my happy thing, but I get to have it, and I know I get to have it. So then I'm like, I'm not craving it. I'm not going out and eating an entire store full. I'm just having my little ice cream sandwich and I'm good. You don't have to restrict yourself in that way. You just need to intuitively see how foods are. And when you start adapting to this and like listening to your body, because that's one thing. I'm a binge eater. When I'm upset, I will eat beyond being full because I stopped listening to my body, because I'm just trying to like suppress the emotions with food. Not a great place to be. But I've recognized that. So I've started, when I'm having an emotional piece where I want to go, I need to snack, I want to snack, I make a plate of food. I just make a plate of food. I don't grab the bag of chips. I don't grab it. I put it all out on a plate. So here's a set amount of food. And that stops me. I know I can eat everything on that plate, just mindlessly snack off of it, but I don't mindlessly snack a whole bag. And that has helped me also get over like just some tendencies to just mindless eat.
Well, and what I've found, and I don't even think it was intentional. In our kitchen, I am totally going to own the fact we have an entire cabinet full of nothing but junk food, and that is our goodie cabinet. And it's stocked. We have like 3 different types of Oreos in there. We have M&Ms. We have Milano cookies, which are like,
Oh, I know.
oh,
Oh, I
oh,
know.
oh. I have almond roca in there. I mean, it is very well stocked. But knowing that I have that there, I don't know when the last time I got something out of there was.
It's a mental
it's
game.
there. I can have it whenever I want, but I don't crave it as much. Now I guarantee if I ran out of Milano cookies, I would be a hangry bitch and my husband would hate me. I own that. But now that I've got 3 bags in there, I think like mid June, I got a bag out. I ate like 2 and I gave one to my grandbaby because they're nice and soft. Probably not the best thing for a 1-year-old, but he loved it. But like, yeah, and I used to be the person like I would literally go through an entire bag, if not more, of Milanos in one sitting. But now that it's there, like it's no big deal. It's there. I've got it if I need it or want it, I should say, because I probably don't need Milanos.
Oh no. Oh no, there are days you need Milanos. Trust me. It's
I love the comment that John just made of that Milano cookie did not hurt his BMI. If you cannot tell by the last name, John is my husband.
I had made some assumptions there. No, but I also like the fact that if we can back up to the comment he said before that comment was that daughter is diabetic. And when they came up with the no carb diet, I thought they were crazy. Well, they are crazy. Here's the thing with fad diets. So you have your buzzword keto diet. You have your South Beach diet. You have your Weight Watchers. You have your insert Adkins, your cabbage soup diet, your whatever. Here's the fun thing. Yeah. They have research behind it showing they work. Who did they do the research on? Oh, men. One, because women couldn't be in research studies prior to the 90s. 1990s. Women couldn't be in research studies, meaning all the studies on our birth control done on men. I don't know if you knew that, but all the research was done on men. And then the other thing is that those diets, yes, if you can do it and you feel better and you feel great on it and it's sustainable, cool. But how often do you hear people just miserable, unable to sustain it? And that is how you yo-yo. And you yo-yo down, and then you skyrocket above, and then you yo-yo down, and you skyrocket above. It's not a sustainable thing. Again, the diet industry is designed to make you unhealthy.
Just, it's so infuriating. Well, I hope that everybody has gotten something out of this. I would love to know what your takeaways are. So please, if you're watching the replay of this, comment your takeaways. Hashtag replay, comment your takeaway. Because I would love to know your thoughts on this topic. Dr. Mack, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. This has been a amazing conversation. I can't talk anymore.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun and a topic that I clearly am not passionate about or care about or anything.
Not at all. Well, I have one final question for you before we go. Mm-hmm. And if you recall back to the first time we talked, I told you I was going to have a final question, but I wasn't going to let you know what it was.
I remember.
It's that time.
Okay.
What is one thing that you love about yourself?
Easy. I love my strength. I love my power.
Why?
Because it allows me to accomplish things that I've been told I wouldn't be able to do. I am a woman as a sports chiropractor working on high performance athletes. And I'm a minority as a sports provider working with individuals that aren't dancers and aren't runners. Because when you see a woman chiropractor that's a sports chiropractor, they're working with runners, they're working with dancers. I'm working with football, hockey, rugby. I'm working with sturdy humans. And those are the people I want to make sure when they come to see me, I can help them, I can fix them, and I understand the hard work that they've put in to get to the places that they are. And I've had men go, "Are you sure you can adjust that low back? Are you sure you can get that?" Bitch, please watch me.
I love it. Love it. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I have loved this conversation. If you guys loved this conversation as much as Dr. Mack and I did, then please consider becoming a listener sponsor. Buymeacoffee.com/ this fat girl life. As a listener sponsor, you will have access to sponsor only content such as daily inspiration, be part of the decision panel as far as special bonus episodes, and you're going to find out about topics and guests long before anybody else. Again, buymeacoffee.com/ this fat girl life. I hope you all have an amazing night. Bye, guys.
Bye.